In this scenario, we'll demonstrate the procure to pay process in Dynamics 365 Business Central. In this scenario, I will show you how to enter in a purchase invoice, then pay the vendor. We will review the vendor balance, and then also show feature around how to auto suggest the appropriate payments. So the first step is to create the purchase invoice. So I'm logged in to Business Central, and I'm going to go ahead and select vendors, and I'll select this first vendor, Fabricam, and I'll select on the purchase invoice, and I'll enter in an invoice number from the vendor, and then from the drop down, I'm going to go ahead and select on this London swivel chair, and I'll go ahead and enter 20 of those, and then I'll post that in to post the invoice. And then just to show it, I'll print that out so we could see the purchase invoice. You'll notice now I can drill into the balance of and I see the result of this new invoice I just created. The second step is to pay the purchase invoice. So I'll select payables right here in the shortcut, and I'm going to go grab the payment journal, and I want to go ahead and edit this journal batch. And I'm going to select the drop down, and because I've got it on an account type as vendor, right, I'll select Fabricam, and I'll enter in that amount, and I'll scroll over to the right, and I'm going to tie that back to the invoice that we just created. That was the second one right here, and I'll select OK, and now I'll say yes to posting those journal lines. Okay. Next, let's just review the history of what we just did. So I'll come back to vendors, and you'll notice here in the tile on the right-hand side on the fact box, I've got 18 for my posted invoices. And here's the one we just created here with that vendor invoice of 102,446. And then in terms of auto suggest, the recent purchase invoice of Fabricam needs to get paid. So I can go to cash management, go into the payment journals, and in this case here, I can manually figure out what it is I want to do. But in the payment journal window, you can use the suggest vendor payments to suggest payment lines. So I'll select that button right there, and you'll see that I now have a list of payments of vendors, and I can go through each one and determine, which ones we want to pay. And we'll close that out. And that's the end of the demo scene around procure to pay. Again, the goal of this scenario is just to demonstrate that process. And the benefits clearly are to reduce time and data entry, but also improve control of the data and the business.